Welcome to the 4th ASEAN EU Cooperation and Scholarship Day. You are now in the reception area. Here is the list of events we have prepared for you. Click on the schedule button to get a reminder on your phone or devices. Just dropping in to see what's on? Find this little red button to see which event is currently live and just join the fun. Take the time to explore the expo area and see what have been prepared for you. Here on the booth panel, you can have a one-on-one Q&A session with our exhibitors. Download all the information that interests you, join workshops and sessions, or try out the games. Each session also has its own booth panel for you to interact with the speakers. To have a conversation with an expo representative, click Share Video and Audio. The booth moderator will allow you to have a conversation with them. Have something to say? Head on over to the Voice of Youth booth. Pick your virtual background and overlay and say it with a photo or video. Don't forget to follow and tag at EU in ASEAN when you post it on social media. You might be the lucky winner to get a special hamper from the EU. We're so excited to have you here and we wish you a good time.
Good afternoon and welcome to the 4th ASEAN EU Cooperation and Scholarship Day 2021. I hope you are doing well and enjoying the event so far. My name is Trisatrian Desa and I will be your moderator in this scholarship info sessions. I'm so excited for this session because we have 4 amazing speakers who are so excited and ready to share scholarship information with all of you. So, without further ado, let me introduce them. First, we have Ms. Destriani Nugroho from Erasmus Mundus. Hi.
Hello again, everyone. Hello, Trisa. Thank you.
Thank you. And then next we have Ms. Inti Dinasari from Nuffic Neso.
Hi.
Yes. Look, she's so bright with that yellow shirt. Yes. And also, no, it's not yellow, it's orange. And
No,
also,
that's okay.
and also we have Mr. Attila Juhas from Education in Hungary.
Hello, hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
And last but not least, we have Miss Amreta Siddiq from Embassy of Sweden. Hi, Mbak. So thank you all for being here. So let me tell you how this session will go. In this session, we will hear and see a 3-minute presentation from each speaker. And for the audience, if you have any questions or you have any comments, just drop in your questions or write it down in the comment box, okay? And we will get back to your questions in the end of the presentation, and we will try our best to answer all the questions if we still have time. Because remember, this session is only 30 minutes long. I know it's not that long, but hopefully we can give the most essential information for you to learn more about the scholarships provided by these 4 countries. So we will start with Ms. Destriani Nugroho to talk about Erasmus Mundus. Destriani?
Thank you very much, Lisa. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, audience. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Destriani. I'm from the EU delegation to Indonesia and Brunei Darussalam. I'm here with one of the alumni on the backstage. Her name is Amalia. She is the country representative for Surabaya East Java. If anything happened to my connection, so she will take over my presentation. Next, please. On this 3 minutes time, I will explain to you about the Erasmus Mundus Joint Master Degree. The first requirement is that you have to pass your bachelor degree. And what does it mean, Erasmus Mundus Joint Master Degree? The master degree is organized by a consortium of universities, and it consists of minimum of 3 universities from 3 different countries. And how many are there? Erasmus Mundus Joint Master Degree courses. There are exactly 149 courses that you can choose from variety of fields and subjects. And how long the study? On the left box, you will see on the bottom that the Erasmus Mundus Joint Master Degree is implemented either 1 year, 1.5 years, or 2 years. For 1 year study, they will have 60 European credit transfer system. For 2 years, it consists of 120 European credit transfer systems. On the right box, you can see the catalog where you can choose the Erasmus Mundus courses. Next, please. And you will see that if Erasmus awardee, they will study in two or three or four different countries. For example, the first semester, the awardee will study in the Netherlands. And then the second semester, they will study in France. And the third semester, they will study in Belgium. It's very exciting. And the next slide, you will see how much is the full scholarship. The total is 49,000 euro, and it consists of the tuition fee, which is 80,000 euro for 2 years, with living allowance of 1,000 euro per month. And then the travel allowance is 3,000 euro for 1 year. And then the awardee will also get settlement allowance for 1,000 euro for one time. And next slide, please. Who can have the full scholarship Erasmus Mundus? First is non-EU citizen, and for those not registered as citizen in any of the EU countries. And the last one is very important, that the applicant does not have any main activities for more than 12 years, that is since 2016, for more than 12 months in 5 years. Okay, we'll see the basic requirements to apply for Erasmus Mundus scholarship. First is the curriculum vitae using the Europass version. And second, the applicant must submit the English proficiency test. It is either IELTS or TOEFL. And then third, the diploma with the English translation. And fourth is the recommendation letter from your university and also from the supervisor if you are already working. And last is the motivation letter. And next, we will see when is the application open. It will be open shortly in October and November, and then the selection process will be done in December and February, and then the approval from the European Commission, which is the final approval, will be given in April and May. And the announcement will be given in May. Students will depart to Europe in August or September. Next, thank you. That is my presentation. Back to you, Teresa. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Destriani. That is so quick, but there's a lot of information. So the most exciting part about Erasmus Mundus, I think, is the fact that you will not only study in one place, but at least in 3 different countries and 3 different universities. So that is, for me, that's very exciting, and you can learn new cultures, and also you can visit these amazing cities in Europe. And next we have Miss Inti Dinasari to talk about Nuffic Neso.
Thank
Inti?
you, Teresa. Yeah. Well, good afternoon, everyone. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. For those who are interested to continue their study in the Netherlands, we offer plenty opportunity for you to apply for scholarship. Last week, we organized pre-departure briefing for Indonesian students who are going to the Netherlands this year for studying, and we found out that 60% of the registrants of this event will go to the Netherlands with scholarship. Can we see the next slide? Because there is data here that we got from our last week event. Here you can see various scholarship program from Indonesian government like LPDP, MORA, Dikti, or ISMA. ISMA is the new scholarship from the Ministry of Education in Indonesia, and also scholarship from the Dutch government like STUNEP, OKP. OKP is Orange Knowledge Program, Holland scholarship. Also from EU with Erasmus Plus. Here we cannot see from Share because no one from Share is going to the Europe this year. Well, but there's also some scholarship from Dutch universities and also scholarship provider philanthropies like private institutions. So there is plenty of opportunity for going to the Netherlands with the scholarship. Well, next slide, as I have limited time here, so I will only inform you for scholarship program, which is from the Dutch government. It is STUNET scholarship program, Orange Knowledge program, OKP, and OTS, Orange Tulip scholarship. Next slide, please. This table shows us the characteristic and eligibility of each scholarship. So I'll highlight a bit about the difference in terms of nationality. STUNET scholarship is only for Indonesian, while Orange Tulip Scholarship is only for students in 9 Neso countries, which is Indonesia, Vietnam, China, India, Korea, Russia, South Africa, Mexico, and Brazil. While in this table, you can see that Orange Knowledge Program, or OKP, is not for individual scholarship. Because frankly, I used this slide to give the presentation for only Indonesian. And for Indonesian, there is no more individual scholarship anymore from the OKP. But actually, the Orange Knowledge Program individual scholarship is actually open to mid-career professionals who are nationals of and living and working in many countries like Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Benin, Myanmar, Vietnam, you name it. There's a lot of countries eligible for this Orange Knowledge Program. You can see the list in the website, of course. And then in terms of finance coverage, we can say that StuNet and Orange Knowledge Program is a full scholarship program, while OTS and Whole Scholarship is actually a partial scholarship program. StuNet and OKP is only for master or short course program, while OTS and Holland Scholarship offering for bachelor and master program. Next, Mas. So first thing first, before you apply for scholarship, you will have to find whether your study program in the Netherlands is offered by the university. So I recommend you to go to this website, www.studyfinder.nl. And in this website, you can also see various scholarships for each study program. Well, I don't know whether I still have time for the next, because if yes, then I will also mention about the PhD. Next month, if I still have time. Well, on 25th of September, we'll organize PhD recruitment. It is event to accommodate students who are going to apply for, you can also put next slide, to apply for the scholarship who are already get scholarship from any scholarship provider, like for the Indonesian scholarship program from LPDP, Mora, Dikti. And in this event, we can connect you with the supervisor. And next slides. But if you cannot get those scholarship, you can still get another opportunity, because for the Netherlands, PhD candidates tend to treat their PhD like a job with relatively steady hours. It may also be a requirement that you are in your office between certain blocks of time. So the common path in the Netherlands is to apply for the advertised PhD position. This position will only be advertised when the project is already funded. So in other words, part of the research and deliverable are defined before you start. Getting hired as a university employee is quite common. 1 year contract first, and then extension, or 4-year contract in total. And it's the typically arrangement between your PhD funded by the research, it is funded by the research project. So there are many advantages to being hired as a university employee, which include social security, employee protection, building up retirement savings, many more. So it means, of course, that you will have to pay taxes on your salary. Well, I think that's enough for the opening, and I trust the moderator will lead us for further discussion. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Inti. That was a lot of information. I know you were rushing through it, but that's so interesting because in Dutch, in the Netherlands, you can study you can get scholarship for bachelor's, master's, and also for a PhD. So that's good news. And next, we have Mr. Attila Juhas to talk about education in Hungary. Attila?
Yes. Hi, good afternoon to everybody. I'm Attila Juhas from the Hungarian Embassy. I give you some information about study in Hungary. Yes. So first slide, please. Okay, next. So why to choose Hungary? Because next slide, please. Next, please. Because Hungary has a very vibrant life. It's a very safe environment. Very favorable costs for studying, and also very affordable living costs. And also the official language is Hungarian, but you can study in English in Hungary as well. And Hungary is also a hub for international companies and startups, and have a very vibrant international student life. Next, please. So, as I mentioned, Hungary is open for scholarship. It also has a government-funded scholarship. It's also offering for bachelor's, it's offering for master's degree, different scholarship, and also for PhD students. Next, please. So here you can see that so many different studying opportunities you can reach and have in Hungary, like in IT, medicine, music, engineering, economics, and so on and so on. And there are so many famous Hungarian innovations that's proving that Hungary is very in the forefront of technology and IT and value-added and information technology. Next, please. So one of our major programs is the government-funded Stipendium Hungaricum. It's a government-funded scholarship program, and it's funded by the Hungarian government. It's ongoing since 2013. It's available for all 10 ASEAN countries, from students from all the 10 ASEAN countries. And it gives so many opportunities. Also in Indonesia, there are 100 students each academic year we are accepting from Indonesia for bachelor, master, and PhD degree. Next, please. So for this Stipendium Hungaricum government-funded program, the application period starts each year in mid-November, and the closing is in January. So there are 2 calls for applications. As I mentioned before, the bachelor, master, and non-degree programs, and the second one is for doctoral PhD programs. And we are offering different subjects in 30 host institutions in Hungary. And we are working, this Stipendium Hungaricum program is working with, together with more than 80 partner countries all around the world, including all the ASEAN countries. Next, please. So for the Stipendium Hungaricum program, there is a tuition-free education. It offers also monthly stipend and monthly allowance for the students. There are, you can see on the slide, the different allowances in also in euro. It's also giving accommodation. It's giving medical insurance and so on. Next slide, please. So here you can find for the application process what kind of documents you have to prepare. And as I mentioned before, it's this program is available for all 10 countries from the ASEAN countries. So all ASEAN member states citizens can apply for this program. And in Indonesia, we are working together with the Ministry of Education and Culture, the Kemdikbud, as our sending partner. Okay, next slide, please. So you can see in a detailed way the application timeline. So each year, actually, the application for the next academic year is published in November online. So you can see and choose your favorite subject of study, and then go through the application process. And then hopefully, if you are getting this scholarship, you can start your studies next year in September. Next slide, please. Okay, so here is again the application system. So we know it's already closed for this academic year. The students, the 100 students, for example, from Indonesia, they will end of August they will already arrive to Hungary. But soon in November, you can apply for the next academic year. Next slide, please. If you want to know more details about study in Hungary, also including the Stipendium Hungaricum government-funded scholarship program, you can follow it on the website or Facebook, and you can get more detailed information on this. Thank you very much for your kind attention.
Thank you, Mr. Attila Juhas. That is so interesting. Another place for you to do your master's or your PhD. and it's fully funded, so you don't need to pay tuition, and you get you even get stipend, so you don't have to worry about how you can manage or finance your day-to-day life while you are studying there. So no stress while you are studying. That is so amazing. And now, last but not least, we have Miss Amreta Siddiq from Embassy of Sweden to talk about study in Sweden. Amreta? You may start your presentation. Amreta, can you hear me? I think there's technical issues.
Hello.
Hello, hi.
There is some
Okay.
problem here because I cannot see my presentation,
Okay.
but I'll try to just to follow along. So thank you very much, Tisha. My name is Amreta Siddiq. I'm trade officer at the Swedish Embassy in Jakarta, but I am also coordinator for study in Sweden at in Indonesia. So since I only have like 3 minutes, now I'm going to just go straight to the presentations to the Swedish Institute Scholarship. Okay, I just follow along again because so the Swedish Institute Global Scholarships is actually the Swedish government scholarship for international students to study master's programs in Sweden. So the ideal candidates are the ones who are ambitious, active talents with strong professional backgrounds. If you demonstrate leadership experience and passionate about contributing to international developments, then maybe you are an ideal candidates. And the eligible countries, if you come from Cambodia, Indonesia, Myanmar, Philippines, and Vietnam, you can apply. And then what's included? So the scholarships covers tuition fee, living expenses of Swedish kronor, 10,000 Swedish kronor, or about 1,000 euro per month. And then travel grant of 15,000 Swedish kronor, or around 1,500 euro. And then the insurance and the membership for the alumni organizations when you already finish your studies. And what are the criteria? So the criteria are your work experience is the most important thing, that you must have minimum of 3,000 hours of demonstrated employment, or it's around 2 years of work experience. And then the country of citizenship. So if you come from the country that I mentioned before, from Cambodia, Indonesia, Myanmar, Vietnam, and the Philippines, you can apply. And then you must apply for the programs first. And then that you can show leadership experience. And then the master's programs that you apply must be eligible for the scholarships. And then other eligibility criteria, you need to stay tuned and check the websites, because every year there might be some other criteria that can be added by the Swedish Institute. And then how to apply is actually you need to apply for the program first. The program is actually opens every year mid-October until January. Mid-January is normally the deadline. And then in February, you can apply for the scholarships. And I already gave the link there in the presentations where you can actually see the instructions, because every year is different, a little bit different. If you have no time to check it, then you can download the brochures, these presentations from our booth. And then the required documents are completed motivations letter, CV, 2 valid completed letters of reference, and completed proof of work and leadership experience. And you don't have to worry about those forms, how you should complete those requirements, because the Swedish Institute will provide the forms so that you can download the forms from the website. But it's normally open only in January. So you still have time to prepare for now. And also a copy of your valid passport, of course. And I think that's all about the Swedish Institute scholarships. There's also just an additional information that when you study in Sweden, you actually have to apply for residence permit. You don't use visa to enter Sweden. You apply directly for residence permit, and the residence permit you with the residence permit, you are allowed to work during your studies too. So you can find, for example, a part-time job in Sweden. It's very possible. But when you apply for jobs in Sweden, you need to also learn Swedish. So it's also something that you need to have in mind. But it will be quite interesting. And also, we have some information here. If you still have questions, you can also email us at the Swedish Embassy in Jakarta. And also you can contact the students, Indonesian students, PPI Swedia in Sweden. You can check their websites and also their social media. I think that's all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Amreta. So for the scholarship from the Sweden, especially for this scholarship scheme, it's only for professional who has at least 2 years of experience. So if you are a bachelor, you are a recent graduate from a bachelor degree, you may not be able to apply, but just take your time, gain some more experience, and then apply in the next 2 years. So you can be eligible to get the scholarship from this scholarship scheme from Sweden. Now, we have a lot of questions from our audience. So let's just start asking the questions. So first, maybe we can talk about Erasmus Mundus first. Maybe I can invite Destriani to, hi. So there's a lot of question about Erasmus Mundus. First of all, if someone's already have their master's degree, can they apply to get a second master's degree from Erasmus Mundus joint master's degree?
Yeah, the answer is possible. If the first master was not funded by the EU, and this applicant can apply for their second master. In the motivation letter, this applicant must explain why they want to have their second master, and it is possible. Because there are so many questions on the chat, maybe we will not be possible to answer them all. I would like to ask the audience to visit the Erasmus booth. We will have live session until 17 with all alumni available to consult. Thank you. Back to you, Trisa.
Thank you, Destriani. Yes, there's a lot of questions, and I would suggest you, if you want to get an in-depth information about all of this scholarship, you can go to their booth and you can have a Q&A, live Q&A session, and you just get more information. But I have one question. Do the candidate have to be able to speak the language? Like if they go to Sweden, do they have to speak in Swedish when they're studying, or when they go to Hungary, do they have to speak Hungarian when they study? So maybe all of you can answer. Do we need to learn the language before we start to study, or we can just use our English? Maybe we can start from Amreta. For studying in Sweden, do we have to speak Swedish? Or maybe Inti, do we have to speak Dutch if we want to study in the Netherlands?
Not necessarily, because in the Netherlands there are more than 2,100 study program offered in English, and also able to speak English in the good. I mean, 90% of the Dutch population, they are able to speak English as well. So if you are going to study in the Netherlands or working in the Netherlands, actually it is not necessarily to learn Dutch. But of course, if you can
In
talk a bit Dutch, it will be advantage as well for you. But it is not a must, not necessarily.
Okay, and how about in Hungary?
Absolutely not. We offer all the programs are in English, so it's enough to speak English. And we understand that Hungarian language is a very difficult one, so we don't force anybody to learn Hungarian. So all university programs are in English.
Okay, and obviously in Erasmus Mundus, because you will be traveling into different countries, so English will be sufficient enough for us to be able to communicate and to study. Is that correct, Destriani?
Yeah, all of the Erasmus Mundus master courses most of them are conducted in English, but we encourage the student to learn the language of the country, and we will give them there are about 3 European credit transfer system for the student to learn the local language, and it is a great advantage if they have the ability to speak in local language for their daily activities.
Okay. Now, this question is for Erasmus Mundus, for Destiny, because you're studying in different universities. So, how about the certificates or diploma? Will they get? Are they going to get 3 different diplomas, or is it just one diploma?
Ideally, what the EU suggested to all the consortium to produce what we call joint diploma, joint degree. So this with one joint degree, if a student studied in 4 or 5 universities, all the rectors will sign in one diploma, and that's what we call a joint degree. But it is also possible for different university to issue different diploma. So we call it joint degree, multiple degree, something like that.
Okay. So this is for all of you. So what happens after a student finishes his or her study? Do they have to go back to their respective country right away, or they can stay for 12 months, like for example, like in Sweden? Maybe Inti, you can start answering. Hello? Hello? Inti, you are muted. Sorry.
Sorry, I mute my mic because I'm afraid my background will this presentation. Well, in the Netherlands, the government has regulation for a look for a job visa. So it means if students graduate from the Netherlands, they can stay in the Netherlands for a year looking for a job visa, looking for a job. And once they get the job, they can change the visa to working visa, of course. And the good news is this visa is valid for 3 years. It means if, for example, students graduated bachelor from the Netherlands and got scholarship in Japan for 2 years, for example, and would like to go back to Europe and find, looking for a job in Europe, they can still use this chance with, we call it Zoekjaar visa, stay in the Netherlands for a year, and within this 1 year, if get have a job, then they can change the status of the visa.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about in Hungary, Attila?
In Hungary, somewhat similar to the Netherlands. So after finishing the studies, if the student can find some work or a job, he can stay in Hungary and work with the stay permit, the working stay permit.
Okay. And how about for Erasmus Mundus, Destriani? Because you are moving around, so can you just stay in one of the countries?
Yeah, after the student graduated from Erasmus Mundus master course, they can continue their degree for PhD degree, for example. They can also try to find a job in Europe, and it is quite good for Erasmus alumni because it's very famous in Europe. For the Erasmus alumni, it's quite easy for them to find a job. But at the end of the day, we always ask our alumni to contribute to Indonesia in any way. Thank you.
Okay. Well, this is the time that we got now. It's more than 30 minutes. I know all the audience want to know more, want to ask more, and even me, I want to know more because I'm interested to start my PhD maybe in the Netherlands or in Hungary. So maybe that'll be something that I am thinking about now. But if you want to know more about the scholarships we discussed today, please visit our speakers booth. You can look for more information on the scholarships and about student life there. And if you are interested to talk more with all of these amazing speakers, you can go to their booth and have a live Q&A at the booth. And don't forget to have your say at the Voice of Youth section. You can post the photo and video on your social media, and don't forget to tag at EU in ASEAN and make sure to follow at EU in ASEAN social media channels for chance to win a special hamper from the EU. Thank you for attending this session. My name is Trisa Triandesa. Have a nice day and enjoy the rest of the event.